So today I've got a much requested and frankly much needed modification for the car. I'm going to be vinyl wrapping the chrome trim. It's going to be gloss black. So if you've been following for a long time, you might remember I had originally plasti dipped it. I had that on for about a year, but I think that the vinyl is going to be just a better long-term solution. It's going to be glossy, so it's going to match the car a little better. So yeah, let's do it. During the garage with my dad today, so if you see him working in the back, yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm kind of excited to get my own house eventually. I'm just renting right now, so I come over to my parents to do these DIYs. But he builds these sets for our church. I'll show you what the end product looks like. So this goes on the stage, and it's like a dark auditorium, and then they're lit from the bottom with LEDs. So I think these look pretty cool. But anyway, that's what my dad's doing today, and we're just kind of working together here. Alright, so first let's go over the supplies. I've got this roll of 2-inch gloss black 3M vinyl, an X-Acto knife with a brand new blade. You want the blade to be very sharp for this. This regular sort of painter's tape. I'm going to show you what this is for in a second. Some alcohol so that you can clean the surface to prep it. This handy vinyl applicator squeegee. And then just kind of optionally, I got these vinyl application gloves. It's supposed to be a little bit less friction, and it kind of reduces the scratches and stuff in the vinyl as you're applying it. And then every car is going to be a little bit different, but on the E90 and E92, this back corner right here is a little bit too wide for that 2-inch roll. So I went ahead and got this big roll that I can just kind of lay flat on there, and I don't have to worry about it being too thin in some spots. So you're just going to have to look at your car and determine whether or not you're going to need to do this. But anyway, all of the links for all these products are going to be down below. If you want to buy them on Amazon, that definitely helps me out a little bit. Or if you just want to, buy them at the store, that's up to you. Just do whatever's easiest. The first step is just going to be prepping the surface by just rubbing it off with some rubbing alcohol. That'll clean any oils or wax or anything that might be on there. And just a little tip, I actually washed the car last night. That way it would have overnight to fully evaporate all the water that might be trapped in the seams there. That way when we go to actually tuck in the vinyl, there's no like water or anything that would have it not adhere the way that I want it to. So once the surfaces are nice and clean and ready for the vinyl, the next step, this is a tip that I've seen in a couple different vinyl application videos, is you put this on the paint and it makes the paint on the car less tacky. That way when you're trying to apply the vinyl and you're trying to kind of maneuver it around these areas, it's not going to be just sticking to the car the whole time. So let's go ahead and tape up this section. Alright, so let's just hope that the vinyl actually comes out better than this tape job. But anyway, I'm going to start with this top section here. Alright, so I've got this top section here pretty much done. I just have to trim off the excess, and so far what I've learned, this job is definitely going to test your patience. It's not as easy as some people make it out to be, but I definitely have a new earned respect for anybody who does vinyl wrapping for a living. But anyway, the thing that's tricky about it when you're going over these curves is that the vinyl is naturally going to want to start folding. Like you can see with this tape, how the tape starts to fold a little bit like that. That's because the tape doesn't have any kind of elastic properties to it. But with the vinyl, the trick is as you're laying it to kind of massage it in the way that you want it to lay down. So that's what's hard about it. Just give yourself plenty of time to work on it. Alright guys, so I've got all of these front pieces done. The only thing that's left is that back corner that I talked about a little bit earlier in the video. And so as I'm kind of going along here, this is my first time really doing a vinyl project like this before. And as I'm working, I'm kind of picking up on some little tips and tricks. So the first thing I would say before you even get started, if you've never used vinyl before, just peel yourself off a little piece like this and just play with it. Just like kind of stretch it, kind of figure out how pliable it is. The weather outside, the temperature is going to affect that a little bit. It's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so it's actually fairly flexible. You can see I can kind of stretch it, but that's the first thing, is just play with the vinyl and just see what the limitations are. The next thing, these gloves really came in handy. In fact, I don't know that you could do this without the gloves. Your fingers are just too sticky on the vinyl to really smooth it out the way that you need to, so definitely pick up the gloves if you're going to do this project. And then the last thing is, as you're kind of unrolling the vinyl, be very careful not to stretch it. You just want to kind of lay it out as it's going along. Don't try to peel it or pull on it or anything, because as soon as you pull on it, it's going to get wrinkles in it and it's going to be a huge pain in the butt. So just be very careful as you're laying it down. Make sure it's nice and flat. And yeah, those are my 3 tips so far. Alright, so I've got this whole side of the car completely wrapped. Everything is looking good. The last step is just going to be to hit the whole thing with the heat gun and just make sure that we get that really good adhesion with the wrap sticking to the trim. And so you just want to be extremely careful using this. This does get hot enough to not only damage the vinyl, but it could also potentially hurt the paint on the car. So just be extremely careful. Or if you don't feel comfortable with this, you can always use a hair dryer. But I've got the heat gun, so let's do it. Alright, well that's going to wrap up this project, and once again, the links for the tools and the supplies for this are going to be down in the description. If you want to check them out on Amazon, that really helps me out and I appreciate that. Or if you just want to buy the stuff from the store, you know, just do whatever's easiest for you. But if you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, maybe this inspired you to wrap your own window trim, just give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.